Hey guys, how's it going? So I've got a few things to work on today, one of which will involve a trip down to the garden center because I want to look for a small-ish evergreen. I was kind of looking through the plants that we're wintering over and I don't have anything quite the right size or stature. So the project is moving that small concrete table from in the kitchen. You might remember I moved it in there it's like late fall, and I'm ready for something different right there. So I'm gonna move that from that location into the Hartley, like right in the center. We had the Christmas tree in there for the Christmas season and it was wonderful. Now there's nothing in there and I'm just ready for branches or some kind of potted something, even though it's not finished. So that's one of the projects. The other couple of things are in the greenhouse. I want to clean up those violas I just showed you in our recent seed starting video, and I get those all groomed up and kind of just sift through the plants that are in there. And I'm gonna have to toss some of them. I know there's some celosia that have died because it got too cold, that sort of thing. And then I'm gonna plant some radishes and other cold crops. So before we move this table, I think we'll go see if we can find an evergreen, and Aaron's gonna come with me, I think. Back inside, I just wanted to show you the table real quick that I'm gonna move out to the greenhouse. It's beautiful and I've loved it here. It's a unique stone table. It's got a collection of holiday plants, amaryllis still in bloom and or getting ready to bloom, and a poinsettia. We'll find new locations for those. But what I need in this spot, you can kind of see, kind of narrow. It didn't really neck down this area too much. We had plenty of room to walk around, but I want something that's a little bit less wide and something that's fairly narrow, that's got drawers or bins in it for organizing mail and kitchen clutter. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing to create more areas for things to end up, but I just want to try to keep our counters a little more clear. I mean, you guys know how it is. You come in with a stack of mail and then maybe it takes you a day to go through it sometimes, and it just sits there on the counter and then it gets mixed into the next day's stack of mail. So this is in an effort to try to organize better and to make something pretty in the Hartley. So we're gonna head out to the garden center, see if we can find an evergreen. Aaron actually stayed home. He had a ton of stuff to do. So I'm just gonna make this a quick trip. Hopefully I find something. Okay, so they've got all the bigger evergreens kind of clustered up front there. I don't need anything huge. We're gonna go in here. The beauty of getting something out here is that it's already acclimated, and so I can pot it and have it be just fine so long as I water it. Oh, here we go. Oh, they don't have a lot of stock this year. That's kind of nice for them. Oh, look at those. Oh, you guys, look. Oh, okay. Gotta have some of these. Maybe we'll just pot up some hellebores. Maybe 3 of them in a low bowl. Oh my goodness, how exciting. Okay, there's some buds on that one. Look at that. I cannot believe there's blooming hellebores in here. Oh, that's so exciting. And this is an unheated greenhouse. So when they go in the Hartley, they'll be just perfect. You guys want to see the look on my mom's face when I bring these inside? I know exactly what it's going to be. Oh, there's some sedum. Maybe I need some of that too as a filler. Yep, I need a box. For the Hartley today. Here we are. Before I move these plants anywhere, I think I want to get the table moved out there. Not exactly sure how it's going to go because there's snow leading right up to the Hartley from all directions. It's an island of snow out there. It's going to be so pretty in here when it's all finished. Now we have plants and lights. Cannot wait. A little bit more powder under there. That looks pretty good. Good enough anyway. All right, let's go find a pot for those plants. Okay, well, I'm not quite finding exactly what I want. I've got a bunch of beautiful empty containers that are concrete. but they're all the same color. You know, the table is concrete color, like the natural color, and the pots are natural color, and with the powder dirt in there, I wanted something that was a little brighter. So I'm gonna go the basket route instead, just because I wanted something a little bit whiter and a little bit lower. So do you remember that arrangement I put together for our coffee table? It had 2 Norfolk pines, white cyclamen, some spider plants, and then a couple candles. Well, I just took it apart. I was inside, and the cyclamen that was right here I had popped out earlier because it started to kind of fail, and I put a caladium in its place, and it was really beautiful. But I think that this will be a really nice kind of wintry vibe and a different texture and look than the concrete it's sitting on. And I do think I'm going to attempt to actually plant it. So I'm going to line this basket, and so that I can manipulate the root balls and fit a little bit more in there. So let's take this all to the greenhouse. Okay, scratch everything I just said about the container. I was gonna use this, but I'm seeing a concrete bowl right down here that the Lady Godiva yellow calendula is in. The calendula is looking kind of rough. So I'm thinking we can take that out and we'll have a little bit more planting room, because I was looking at the size of this root ball and the size of this basket. And while I usually don't have any problem manipulating root balls and getting them to cram in a container like this basket is getting a little bit more weak. And hellebore roots don't like to be manipulated all that much, and they're hard to manipulate. I wager that we're gonna have a massive root ball when we take this out of the container. So I think the concrete is better. Even though it's not quite the right color, it'll be better for the plants. So there it is. I'm gonna just take that right out. There you go. I think this will be much better right here. The other thing that'll be nice about this is I won't have to be so careful about keeping the water off of the basket material. And this one does have drainage. I was just going to line that and leave it undraining and just be very careful with watering. But if I can help it, I do try to make sure that the container has a drain hole. So I'm gonna grab some potting soil. Hopefully it's thawed out. Ooh, that one's not. Ooh, bingo. I think this one will work. A little bit of fresh soil, and I need to go get something to cut the pot off the root ball. Look at those roots. My goodness gracious. This is a Helleborus Gold Collection Monte Cristo. Gorgeous buds. Okay, I'm running out of room. I wanted to do 3 of each, and all of their root balls are fairly frozen. So I'm just hacking a little bit of the sedum root ball away. Just a little bit of it. Just enough to make them fit. And that might seem a tad extreme, but sedum is really shallow rooted, so I'm not worried about it at all. I'm leaving plenty of roots, basically just hacking off the frozen soil that's kind of on the edges, which I would remove anyway to get them to fit into this planter if they were unfrozen. Okay, so take a look at this root ball. See the roots? They're all at the surface right here. This is how it roots in. Hopefully you can see that. Roots are here. This is a lot of just excess soil that's unnecessary. Yeah. You don't need that. Okay, that should work. Look at that. Perfect. All of them fit. Oh, I love it. It's just simple, clean, everything fits. I did not rough up the root balls of the hellebores because, like I said, they were frozen and they don't really like to be manipulated anyway. So those are in there just how they came out of their cans. And then the sedum, of course, I shaved off a little bit of the frozen excess soil and they just squeezed in beautifully. Now let's go find a few branches outside. I wonder if I can just use one of these that I've already cut. Would that look weird? I don't think so. Let's go try it. That might look really cool, but I need to cut it down a little bit. We did it. How is that? That looks so cool. Oh, you guys, I love it because it looks so winter. You know, the bare trees and bare shrubs, it kind of is an ode to that. And you can see the beautiful, are those lichens on there or moss or whatever? Anyway, that adds a little extra pop of color, interesting architecture. It's the right scale, I think, for where it's going. And then, of course, the beautiful underplanting here with the hellebores and the sedum. Oh, I just am really happy with it. Now to get it to the greenhouse, I'm gonna have to have help for sure. Oh, look at it. Perfect. Oh, like a glove.
Barely fits.
There. Oh, you guys, look at that. Isn't it beautiful? I wish you could just be standing here in real life looking at it because in the camera it looks so darn dark, but it's actually a bright spot in here. That Angelina sedum's got that nice bright chartreuse, of course, the beautiful bloom, just lights it up in here, and what a perfect branch. It's the right scale for this greenhouse, and this is kind of what I was envisioning. Russell, what are you doing, bud? Yeah, do you not like it? You just want to get up on something. Anyway, so I was envisioning, you know, walking through the front doors here. I kind of call the front door the one that has the cold frames, the one that faces the house, and then having our seating area over on this side having the sink with the counter and just a bunch of plants everywhere. It's gonna be so awesome. But I just envisioned a table being in the center with something on it. You know, in the spring and summer, there'll probably be a vase full of fresh flowers. So it'll change throughout the season, but this will be perfect for winter. And oh, there are goldfinches on the Caryopteris out there. Hang on, let's see if we can get close. Do you see them over there? I didn't realize that Caryopteris provided so much forage, like they're going to town. What an incredible building. I absolutely love it. Anyway, I do have the pot on a saucer. You can barely see it. It's one of those thick plastic ones that have feet. So if you look under there, maybe we can see the feet, maybe not. So that'll protect the table from any excess moisture. I'll put a little bit of water in there tonight just to settle in the root balls, but I shouldn't have to do very much with this at all. Awesome. All right, let's head back to the greenhouse to do some plant maintenance. So this is what we have to work with today. We have Snaptastic Red Snapdragons, which still look really good. They'll be fine. They've got buds and still some like decent looking flowers on them. And since it's so warm in here now, I'm just going to kind of just organize them a little better, but keep these. There's a sage I need to cut back. This is a purple sage, I think. I'll give the cabbage to the chickens. And then we just need to cut these violas and pansies back because you can see this crummy looking growth here, but there's beautiful growth right underneath it. And I think if we get these all cut back, fertilized with the warmth in here, they will just shoot back and be beautiful plants for us this next spring. And then the last things, looking rough. These are an echinacea called Summer Summerina Sunchaser, huge yellow flowers. So they're a mix between an echinacea and a rudbeckia. I'll just groom these back. Look at this. Still from winter sowing last year. This is Buried Treasure White Strawberries. Shame. I should have planted those out. Clean that up. Agave that I forgot was out here. I think it's mush. I don't know. We'll just wait and see. And then a couple of herbs we'll clean up, and then these are just toast. Plectranthus and celosia. They're not perennial here, and it just got too cold for them before we turn the heat on, so we'll toss those. And the last thing I was going to do is plant up this raised bed. You know, we just planted this one with lettuce and spinach seeds, and I wanted to plant more cold crops in here, but the days kind of run away from me. I deliberated too long on pot choice for the last project, I think. And I still need to make a cucumber salad to take to my parents' house for dinner tonight, so maybe I'll show you guys that. It's a Thai cucumber salad. It's delicious. So maybe we'll run into the kitchen after this and get that done. So I'm just going to whip through this. It shouldn't take very long. And then we'll head in. These look so much better, and I love having them all together instead of kind of spread out down the length of the table there. It's easier to get to them with water and all that sort of business. So there's the cabbage that I'll go give to the chickens here in a second. But you can see all of the beautiful green growth. There were a few that I think will be okay, but they were bone dry. Like, they're having a hard time even keeping water in, like it just shoots right out the bottom. So I might have to set these in a tray of water and let them just soak some up for a little while. But overall, everything looks great. I did end up needing to toss the agave. When I got to looking at it closer, it was just all the leaves were mushy. So that's a bummer. Now I did fertilize. I used the same fertilizer we use on all of our annuals outside, which is the Proven Winners water soluble fertilizer. The only reason I did that, like, we're not normally fertilizing our plants right now, but since we're heating the greenhouse and these are cold season plants that I really want to have ready early, fertilizing them right now is fine because they're starting to bud and they look great, starting to put on new growth, the pansies and violas. So I think that the fertilizer will give them a little bit of a boost, and now that they have warm enough temperatures to start growing. Okay, so I just need to go take this cabbage to the chickens and then we'll head in to make the cucumber salad, and then I think we'll call it for the day. Hey girls. Beverly always looks at me like, you're holding out on me. I know you have better treats than that. All right. Come on. All right, I do need an onion for this cucumber salad. That one looks good. I've got all my ingredients together. It's a really easy salad to put together. It's cucumbers, shallots if you have those. I'm using an onion because that's what I had in the root cellar. Chilies, I'm using a jalapeno, and then you put those all in a liquid mixture. It's like a brine almost. It's boiling water with sugar, salt, rice vinegar, and you just let everything marinate in the refrigerator and all those flavors meld, and the cucumber just soaks in the heat from the peppers. It's just super delicious, and you strain the salad before putting it on your plate, or you can put it in little bowls with some of the liquid next to your plate. And we're gonna have it next to, I think my dad's making some kind of a Thai chicken over rice tonight. So anyway, it should be good. So let's just get this put together. I'm gonna make the brine first so that the sugar has a chance to dissolve, and then I'll cut up everything and get it all mixed. Really not a lot to it. So this is going to go in the refrigerator for a little while to marinate. I did run out and grab a few of those Lady Godiva yellow calendula flowers. They are edible, and they brought a little bit of color to the bowl. But anyway, I'm really excited. It smells really good. As I was packing up the salad to put in the refrigerator, I realized that we didn't give this arrangement any water. So that's what we're going to do to finish today. Oh, it's so glorious. All right, here we go. Little drink just to settle you all in. So that is it for today's projects, and this marks the very first arrangement in the Hartley. I cannot wait to use this structure to its full potential. I do think the cold frames will be next. We do have the raised bed mix here. It's frozen though, it's outside, so I should take some bags in the greenhouse and get them thawing. It's gonna take a lot though. Have you guys, I can't remember if I showed you the inside of these. They're deep. I'm gonna maybe go get something, I don't know, not like premium raised bed mix to fill up the bottom half, and then use the premium stuff on the top half. They're pretty deep, and you can see that hole in the center there on the wall. That is to allow airflow into the cold frame right here, so that once we have the greenhouse heated, we won't have it heated up really hot, but we'll have it heated just to take the edge off any kind of freezing temperatures. That way it can share some of the heat with the cold frame, which will be really handy. But yeah, there's no reason to fill this entire thing up with premium stuff. I think I could fill up like even to maybe the bottom of the third brick there, and then fill the rest of the way with the good stuff. And I was so excited to find those blooming hellebores. It felt like it was kind of a meant to be project. Potting out here, creating something for this space. And tonight we'll be busy. We're gonna, go to my parents' house for dinner, and then when we get home, I'm gonna be making a cake. I'm not the best at cake decorating, but I'm going to attempt to make one for Benjamin's birthday, which is tomorrow. So if it turns out even halfway decent, I'll post a picture or do a story on Instagram and show you guys. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.